It's clear that arm wrestling has been growing more than it ever has before, as we're seeing more and more arm wrestling fans. I would say 5 years ago, there's really no such thing as an arm wrestling fan. Generally speaking, it's mostly just arm wrestlers and maybe their significant other as other people who would view the sport, but it's exploded so much. I mean, if we look here, somebody said, this is crazy how Devin Larratt versus Vitaly, the match got 1 million views in 5 days. So I kind of wanted to compare that to some of the other most viewed matches, which is interesting because you see Devin, basically 9 out of the top 10 most viewed matches are from Devin Larratt, which kind of reminds me of the whole boycott situation of them trying to, ostracize him from the league, which is absolutely insane considering why would that even be feasible if he's the one bringing in the most views on the pay-per-view, which would bring in the most money. Like number 1 most viewed match, Devin versus Prudnik. Number 2, Devin versus Gennady. Number 3, Devin versus Levon. Number 4, Devin versus Dennis. Number 5, Devin versus Hermes. 6, Devin versus Gennady. The other match with Gennady, Devin versus Corey. Number 7, number 8, Devin versus Kurdecha. And then we got Brian Shaw coming in here with 1 million views. That's why this next event could potentially even be the biggest ever with that as the co-main event, Brian Shaw versus Leonidas. If we look at, I was trying to see how many views his match with Brandon Allen got. So it got 56,000 on the East versus West channel, but on Brian's own channel, it got 1.2 million views. So that would put it basically within the top 15 of most viewed arm wrestling matches from EVW. So it's clear the sport is growing. I also want to cover this post that they made. Where should they host the next event for East versus West? Let's read some of the comments. Salt Lake City. Ryan Bowen says India, you will fill a football stadium. Matt Mass says Vegas. Russia. Robert Ober says anywhere, just bring me. So it seems he's eager for a match. He's been training ever since that Shaw Classic event. We have Pradeep saying India, Henry, Los Angeles or Vegas. Terrence Operman says South Africa. Italy. Another person says Italy. Georgia again. Italy. So a lot of different suggestions. UK, Kazakhstan, Poland, Spain, Russia, China. So I like the fact that they're traveling around. I think that's a great way to capture different audiences in different areas. But now, out of pure speculation, I'm curious, are they asking this because they're trying to reschedule the June events out of Arkansas because Michael Todd lost, and potentially that kills the hype of him being the main event versus Levon, which obviously that match is not going to happen after he lost. So are they trying to move locations? I'm not too sure. Or are they just planning for later in the year? Definitely curious about that. But let me know where you would want to see an event. And also if you think that arm wrestling is like reaching new heights, is it going more and more mainstream? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll be back with more content. Hit the link in the description to save money on East versus West. Use code Tom on the pay-per-view, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.